Hello, guys, and welcome to your Bitcoin report. I'm glad to have you guys here. Now, listen, we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin charts, and we're going to try to see what we can glean from what's happened in the last 24 hours. Let's start the charts right here. Let's take a look, and we are at Bitcoin Wisdom, and the Bitcoin price is $661.30. Now, we took a little jump up in price. Let me see. We'll take a look at the 3-minute here, and you'll see this jump in price. Well, it was running around 62, 6,300. It took a quick jump up in price, almost green candle, almost straight up. And it went all the way up to 69, almost went up to $7,000. Right now, it's leveled off at 66, 61.29. Now, this little jump up in price that's happened today is not a price movement that you could count as a breakout or anything, or Bitcoin is back into a bull market or anything like that. Because if we start to put it into perspective, we move to the 12-hour and take a look right here. All this represents is this little green arrow right here. Boing. On the end of this whole long thing. So it's too premature to be entering back into a bull market again. It's just a green candle right here on the end of this chart. If we take a look, it's this green candle right here on the end. That's what it is, to put the whole thing into perspective. But it does represent strength rather than weakness in what's been a fairly long, for Bitcoin, a fairly long bull market, a bear market, I should say. And Bitcoin, the bubble is basically burst and all the air has been let out of it. And this is the reason why we're getting this little move to the upside again. I don't personally think it's the beginning of the bull market just yet. But it's showing strength, and it's showing that we're not likely to break down and go below the barrier that's been created here at around $6,000. I think there's less chance of that now, and I'm only giving it a 40% chance of breaking down and going through and going below the $6,000 mark. I think that most of the air has been let out of Bitcoin now at this point. And I think that we're just waiting now to go back into our bull market again. And how long that wait's going to be, I mean, it could be quite a little while, or it could be fairly soon. But one of the indicators is, and one of the things that's hinging upon this, is on the 30th of September, the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, is going to decide whether to make Bitcoin an exchange-traded fund or not. If it does make Bitcoin an exchange-traded fund, we're going to probably see a move to the upside. If they decide not to, then we might see Bitcoin test these bottoms of 6,000 again. A lot depends on that. But ultimately, looking in the long term, that's not really going to matter to Bitcoin. Bitcoin eventually, and the cryptocurrencies in general, when I talk about Bitcoin, I'm talking about all the cryptocurrencies. In general, in the end, they're going to become the currencies of the world. They're going to become what's used for exchange and value in the whole world, where right now, fiat currencies are used for exchange and value. But fiat currencies are on a slow ride to hell, basically. They've been losing their value, and some of them losing their value rather quickly, like the Turkish lira, the Canadian dollar, the Australian dollar. It's just amazing the amount of the Venezuelan bolivar is a prime example of how they can lose value. You're going to put your trust in bolivars? Or are you going to put your trust in dollars? Doesn't matter. It's the same idea behind it. The dollar is no different than the bolivar because it's created the same way. It's held together with fiat decree. So now they've released a new boulevard, and why don't they call it the new Royal Boulevard? But I mean, it's just the same deal. They're trying to give it authority through names. I mean, it's not backed by gold. It's not backed by silver. And to give it value, they try to use prestige names. And this ain't working anymore. It ain't working. The people are starting to see through it. The people are starting to realize, hey, you know what? We don't want this. We want an alternative that does have value tied behind it. So what gives Bitcoin its value is a computer algorithm that cannot be changed. There's a limited supply of Bitcoin, and nobody can change that. And it's the same way with all these cryptocurrencies. They are all in limited supply, and nobody can change the supply once it's set by the computer. Once that computer program starts to run and it's set, then that's the way it's going to be, you know. And then that makes it deflationary. Anyway, let's take a look at cryptocurrency market capitalizations right now. We're looking at 216 billion. So the market cap is creeping up because it was like 212. It's up to 216. So Bitcoin dominance is right at 53%. And we're starting to see some green in all of these coins, but some of them are still great bargains. These top coins, like take a look at EOS. It's only $5.05 right now. That's fantastic price for that. XRP is down below what it probably should be. It probably should be at least 50 cents. It's 34 cents. Ethereum's 286 bucks. So anytime you can get an Ethereum for less than 300 bucks, you mean, you know, you're doing something. Litecoin, 57 bucks. 57 bucks for a whole Litecoin. There might be a day coming in the future at some point where Litecoin are like $3,000-$4,000 a piece. And you can say, well, I could have had a whole one for 57 bucks, you know. Anyway, Monero's 95 bucks. IOTA, 54 cents. These prices that I'm quoting right now, I mean, they're going to seem ridiculously cheap at some point in the future. Maybe 5 years from now, you know. Anyway, let's take a look at this coin in our highlight today. It's called Tether, you know, and what they've done evidently is they've tied it into the dollar. So it's like a cryptocurrency, but it's like dollars. It's like you're buying dollars because it's tied in, I guess, directly to the price of the U.S. dollar. What this does, the people that they want to try cryptocurrency, but they love dollars, and somehow they feel secure that they're going to have a secure cryptocurrency if it's tied its boat to the dollar. You know, if it's more to the dollar, because the dollar always gave them security their whole life. They've always worked for dollars. Their house is priced in dollars. Their car is priced in dollars. So they want to try cryptocurrency. They want to dip their foot in the water and try a digital cryptocurrency money. And Tether's a thing for them because it's dollars, you know, and they have transparency, and they have proof of funds, and they have proof that your money is stable. It's a stable currency. See, it says here stable currency because it's tied to the dollar. It's actually tied to other national currencies too. I guess you can buy it in U.S. dollars, euros, and in yen. See, it says here. It's money built from the internet, you know. But the thing is this is great right now. It's gonna get quite a few people because they love dollars and they want to be tied into the dollar. But what about the future? So let's take a look here. It says Tether cryptocurrency. Tether is a controversial cryptocurrency token claimed by its creators to be backed by $1 for each token issued. As they go into talking about how they haven't been audited, has not issued a promised audit of their currency reserves. I say, so what? Really, honestly, so what? I'll tell you why. Why I say that. They're probably good for it, but here, if you go out and you want to get some tethers, even though they haven't had an audit, they're going to be good for it. If you spend $100 and you get 100 tethers, your tethers are going to be probably just as good. I mean, they haven't audited the Fed. you know, and that doesn't mean that your dollars aren't good that come from the Federal Reserve. So why would this be anything any different, you know? So you don't really need an audit. My point is when the dollar starts to go down, that's the Titanic. Picture the dollar as the Titanic. Tether, picture Tether is one of the lifeboats tied to the Titanic with chains that they can't take off. The guy come in, he said, hey, you know, let's fill up this lifeboat. And they said, well, we can't use that one. They said, well, why? They said, well, because see those chains tied to it and those locks? The captain, he's got the key, and the key dropped overboard. We can't undo the locks. We can't get the chains off, and that we're going to have to leave that lifeboat there. Okay? That's Tether. Tether is that lifeboat that's tied to the Titanic. And the Titanic is going to slowly sink over the next 2 or 3 hours. And Tether's going to sink with it because Tether's tied itself to the dollar. This is the way I see it. But this, because so many people love the dollar, and the dollar is like the big thing, then a lot of people want to tie themselves into Tether to feel that security that comes from the U.S. dollar. They don't feel secure in Bitcoin. They don't feel secure in Litecoin or these other coins. They feel secure in Tether to try cryptocurrency because they realize that Tether is tied to the dollar. And this is the way I see it. I don't see this as being a big winner when the dollar goes down. I really don't see this as being a big winner. and okay, that is a little bit of an evil laugh, but I see the dollar going down, honestly, in the next few years, going down in flames. And Tether going down in flames too, because your tethers are not going to be worth any more than the hyperinflating dollar. Anyway, listen, it's been a good report this morning. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next show. Bye-bye.